I also definitely want to encourage you to pick up my book, Breaking the Illusion. I'm going to be referencing it here and there and throughout this process. It's at your local bookstore or Amazon, just depending on where you like to shop. So today I wanted to talk about shame, and this is a very universal, common thing that a lot of people experience. But there's a couple reasons I wanted to bring it up. Is I talk about it a little bit in my book, and the other thing is in my practice, I see so many survivors are working through this as they have come out of abuse in their interpersonal relationships. So it is like what I witness with working with survivors is it's this really painful experience that a lot of survivors get stuck in. So I think it's really important to talk about it and help get unstuck. Gosh, what's that saying? Shame thrives in silence. So for us, I want to talk about it. And hopefully after this, you can find a trusted, safe person that you can also talk to about this as well. So I want to talk a little bit about shame. So shame is this deep emotion that a lot of people will experience, and it is this feeling of being unworthy, unlovable, or for some people, it's like the pit of maybe the core of who they are. I do encourage both working with people to ask each individual how they experience shame and what shame means to them, because it might be a little bit different for each person to describe that. And I think it's empowering for individuals to be able to talk about that. So I wanted to read a quote from out of my book, which is in regards to shame. It says, shame limits each individual's unique expression of the human experience and hinders the ability to heal and grow. So for me, this human experience is filled with so many challenges and a lot of suffering. And when something happens that is not to our expectations or not to either cultural or society expectations, there is a lot of internalizing what happened to us, and especially with abuse. This happened because there's something wrong with me. So I really want to challenge that for everyone to look at that and where is that coming from? Because again, there's so much suffering, so many challenges, and you got to let go of certain expectations about maybe what we thought our life should or should not be. And so I think that's really an important piece. And the reality is that you are worthy of love and compassion and belonging, regardless of what has happened to you. And that, don't forget that. And I think that's a really big piece. So shame on survivors. A lot of my work is on helping survivors and healing. And that's kind of where I want to focus a lot of my energy. But the impact on survivors, there's emotional impacts and how we view ourselves. For some people, it can be self-hatred can come up. There can be a fear of abandonment, a fear of rejection. Behaviorally, there's impacts for survivors. Isolating, addiction, people-pleasing, perfection. All those things can be a symptom of holding on or internalizing that shame. There's also cognitive impacts, distorted self-beliefs. I hear a lot, I am unlovable, or I deserved what happened to me. So those are the things I really want to work with, of creating a different internal dialogue about yourself and what happened. I think that is just very crucial. So the other area is relational. Shame can impact the ability to get close with others, with intimacy, and there can be a lot of challenges with that. It can have a person not be able to open up maybe the way that they want to open up. So the next thing I was going to talk about is, well, what's the next step? So healing from shame. I love to talk about this, and the one piece that I like is naming it and externalizing it and recognizing that it's a learned behavior and that it's not truth about you. So that is something to start working towards. I think there's a good statement that you can start to practice, and that is that this shame does not belong to me. And I think sometimes the more you repeat things, the easier it'll get to feel that way. I also think in terms of healing, that self-compassion and practicing being non-judgmental with yourself is another really important part of healing. Also, you can practice, I did what I needed to do in order to survive. You can also practice, I am worthy of love and healing. And I know that one can be a really hard one to start saying, but maybe working towards that. So practicing self-compassion and mindfulness can be really important for building internal safety with yourself. And then another piece of healing that is really important is connection and safe relationships. We definitely need to connect with others. Healing begins with safe connections. Really important. What you can do is maybe join a group, talk to a trusted friend, possibly look for a therapist or even a life coach. Sometimes they're really trained in interpersonal trauma and working with clients after abuse. But definitely encourage you to sit with a few people and find a good match. I think that's really important. But there's a ton of different practitioners out there that can be really helpful and work with you on what you might be experiencing. And then the last thing about healing that I wanted to talk about is reclaiming your identity and finding maybe creative ways to do that, depending on your own sort of strengths, whether you like music or art or nature, but finding some kind of creative outlet to reclaim your identity. And then a last affirmation that I was thinking is really good is, I am more than what happened to me. What happened to me does not define who I am. So those things are really helpful. And again, repetition and practice, even sticking sticky notes on your mirror and maybe finding one affirmation that feels good for you. Some people like to have more neutral affirmations to start out with instead of ones that are like super on the extreme positive aspect. I'm so glad that you guys are here today, and I just definitely want to encourage you to go get my book. And I definitely want to hear from you if there's subjects or topics that you want to hear us talk about on here. And before I go, I just want to remind everyone to be kind to your mind and to your body. And I definitely hope that this gives you courage to take that next step in your healing journey, wherever you may be, or just to do a little bit of more self-care this week for yourself. And I just want to send everyone a ton of love and peace, and I will look forward to talking to you soon. So my background as a therapist has been significantly in trauma, but also interpersonal trauma, which is trauma stemming from relational dynamics. It's being in an abusive relationship, or do you want to say having an abusive partner? It's something that happens in between people. And then what happens within us because of maybe betrayal or harm that has happened to us. So that is, in a short little statement, interpersonal trauma. But I will definitely be talking about it more. My book, Breaking the Illusion, is based on interpersonal trauma. And so I'm definitely going to go a little bit more into detail with that. Sending lots of love and peace.